Hello, this is Sierra and welcome to another video. Today we're doing another part inside of Hermitcraft, A Terrible Price, Clockwork Chronicles, and Hermitcraft fanfiction. Yeah, we're on chapter 11 now. We'll see how far we go. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy it. And yeah, just watching the time, just see how it goes. Just enjoy the ride. I don't know if this will be the last one. It might be, it might not be. Probably be better if I left it on a cliffhanger. There are a few cliffhangers in here. Oh no. There's a few cliffhangers in here. I fear forewarning. Oh boy. And it might get a little interesting, so yeah. If you want to grab a box of tissues, or a few tissues if you want, you can, but honestly, I don't care. Chapter 11. Things are about to get messy. That episode. And a little dark. These are one of these moments where it does get a tiny bit darker than typical child-friendly stuff. It's still family-friendly, but it's just more on the darker side, so maybe the young kids might not want to see this. Yeah. The episode after, if there's another part, sure. This one, yeah, it's not dark. Not too dark, just a little dark. Chapter 11. Mumbo could see something in the clearing ahead. A three-story building that peaked just over the tree line of woods surrounding it. There was a wall blocking off the forest to prevent anyone from coming in or out. They didn't account for our elytras, Beatles mused as he landed on one of the trees, looking down at the few soldiers wandering around near a separate area. None of them were watching the perimeter at this time. I think we're lucky enough to come to here during a shift, Kanan reported calmly. As he landed next to its charge, it was hidden behind another branch of leaves. Are you sure you want to do this? I've managed to read Garba twice, Korean told him simply. If someone can stop Mr. A from abusing him, it's both of us. We're just here for support, Pearl mused with a giggle. Zayas was standing next to her and Jem as Mumbo observed the grounds below. I see an antenna sort of thing on the roof of the building, Jem pointed up to the top of the building as the rest of them looked up. Sure enough, the flat roof of the building was an antenna that went up at least 10 meters, branching out as the hermit heard a very faint humming noise. Something's looking for us, Mumbo said quietly, looking over at Green warily. You think Mr. A knows we're here? Green asked, looking at the front door, not noticing that Mumbo was watching him. If so, this could easily be a trap, Science warned. Maybe you five should stay here while we deal with it. No. Green shook his head, jumping from off the tree as Caden tried to grab for him, missing as he jumped after his escort. Mumbo followed right behind. Mumbo followed right behind as they landed just beyond the fence, hidden from the soldiers, whose voices they could hear. He wasn't sure what they were saying, but probably wasn't important anyway. Just stay right behind us, if you must, or make sure none of those soldiers stop us. Green, are you sure about this? Mumbo asked with uncertainty. There's no other way, Green said firmly, as he went for the entrance, opening the door as Mumbo came right behind him. Just the hermit heard a shout from behind. Before he could turn to see what who it was, he was pulled into the building by Green, and as he slammed the door behind him, a finger rested on the hermit's lips as Green gestured for his friend to follow. Mumbo had no other option but to oblige. The hallway was eerily quiet as the hermit looked around, seeing offices on its floor, along with one or two meeting rooms, long tables lined with chairs. They were empty. The hermit followed his friend down the hall to a set of stairs. I think Grandma's on the third floor, Green said quietly, putting a hand on the railing as he took a step on one of the stairs. His highest vantage point. Mumbo nodded, following his friend up the stairs as he held onto the railing, which was cool to the touch as it shone some sort of silvery metal. Maybe it was andesite. He couldn't be entirely sure. We should have let one of the escorts come with us, Mumbo insisted, nervously, as they arrived at the second floor, as Green continued upward. The other hermit hesitated, as he glimpsed inside, seeing a few cells across the hallway. They were empty, but it unnerved him that they were there. They never said they couldn't. They probably had their hands full right now, dealing with the soldiers and making sure the girls and beat-ups are okay. Green replied with a shrug, looking back behind him as he realized his friend had stopped climbing. Bumbo? My size might be right, Bumbo said wearily, as he took a few more steps up the stairs to catch up with him. This could be a trap. Trap or not, you know we can't just leave Grumba here. Green stayed matter-of-factly. With that, Green charged up the stairs, and Mumbo followed right behind, unable to deny the hermit's statement. They were being careful, after all. The others would get here soon to have their backs if they needed help. Green knew what he was doing. He had to. Finally, they arrived at the third floor, finding that it was a single large room. At the back wall stationed a large computer, larger than the one he and Green had made for Grimbot. Plastered on the screen was a familiar face, tinted red as it flickered. There were buttons and switches for a control panel, along with a digital keyboard to enter messages. Grimbot? Green asked, staring up in awe at what he saw before him, mouth agape as he slowly walked toward the machine. What did he do? Mumbo asked, as he immediately crossed the room over to the control panel, looking over as he studied the components. I don't know, Green said airily, before looking at the keyboard as he bounded over. We can ask him. Mumbo looked up from the controls as Green typed away at the digital keyboard, writing something before sending the message. Supercomputer beeped before a message was displayed on a small screen, small enough that Green had to squint a little to read it. I'm not the same as when you last saw me, Green read, looking up with a frown at the machine. He sure doesn't look the same, Mumbo admitted. Maybe it's a weird touch. Green shrugged, before his eyes grew wide. The machine beeped again. What? Can he hear us? I programmed a microphone recently, Mumbo chuckled. Mr. A must have carried it over, not knowing what it was. That's cool, Green grinned at his friend as he looked back at his friend, his demeanor shifting. He also said we shouldn't be here. Why not? Mumbo asked, looking up at the face, still static. Stray might have forgotten to add the moving mustache or expression feature, or chosen to leave it on deliberately. More beeping ensued as Green squinted again, taking a step back as his face drained a color, slowly looking over at Mumbo. What? What did you say? Mumbo asked as he walked over to where Green stood, reading what the text said in bold red letters against the hazy gray background. He knows you're here. We need to grab Grumba and go, Mumbo said quickly, as he went for the control panel, just as the floor beneath them began to shake. He stumbled back. I don't think there will be any of that, a voice stated calmly from over by the staircase as Mumbo turned, seeing a man standing in their path, just as the floor in front of them began to open like a hatch as a large claw shot up from the darkness below, reaching out toward them as he lunged out of the way, hitting the ground as he heard a familiar scream that it sent a chill down his spine. Chapter 12. Gran! Mumbo cried as he looked back, seeing the Eliminator hadn't been reaching for him as the arm raised the struggling hermit into the air. The Eliminator leaped into the rest of the room. His form towered over him. Gran gasped in pain. I'd stop struggling if I were you, the man warned calmly. The machine is programmed to tighten its claws whenever it senses a struggle. Let him go, Mumbo demanded as he scrambled to his feet, the floor in front of him closing once more, revealing a hidden room within the second floor. Now why would I do that? The man mused with a smile. I was expecting you. Me? Mumbo asked, taking a nervous step back as Green finally stopped struggling, tears filling his eyes as he gasped for air. Yes, the man replied, walking into the room, standing next to the machine, looking like a dwarf compared to the looming height difference. The Eliminator held Green up at least 3 feet higher than the man, the hermit not moving, but his eyes still staring at the man. I was hoping the original group would have done the trick. the original group sent would have done the trick, but one of them thought it was a smart idea to leave you behind. I wasn't telling him anything, Bubble said firmly. Nor am I helping you. I don't think you have a choice. The man smiled coldly as he pulled out a small gadget. I can tell this machine to do whatever I want. Choose not to cooperate. I'll make your friend here stop. I'll make your friend here suffer the consequences. Ugh. That would have made more sense if I added a shore in there. Don't tell him anything, Green demanded, gasping out in pain as he squirmed helplessly against the machine's tight grasp on him. That's right, he'll do the work for me, it seems, the man chuckled as he walked down where Mumbo was standing. If you hurt him, I'm not helping you, Mumbo warned. You won't help me that way. I know your kind far too well. The man chuckled, shaking his head. Plus, I'd love to show off my machine more often. After my brother and I worked on it for so long. It's perfect. Or almost perfect. Thanks to you. And you think I'll help you finish your project? Mumbo asked, raising an eyebrow. I just wanted you to tell your machine that it can trust me. The man replied simply. That I can make it better, stronger, more powerful than you could ever make it. Grumbot never wanted that. All he wanted was for me to be happy. Mumbo straightened. He's not interested in power or control. He never has. So maybe you can show it, the man offered, to fully submit to the code. You'll kill him. You don't know that, the man chuckled. Besides, it's not truly alive anyway. The Mumbo swallowed, looking over at Green, seeing his friend shake his head seriously. He has thoughts and feelings. He doesn't have to listen to me. Then why don't you change it so he has no other choice? The man snapped angrily. I don't think you're understanding, Mr. A. Green groaned as he coughed, struggling weakly once more against the machine's grasp. Grumbot was programmed to help us, not to destroy us. Then why can't your machine save you then, if you're so clever? The man narrowed his eyes at the hermit dangling above him. If it truly was strong enough, it'd be able to help you. Green cried out in pain again as he squirmed weakly in the machine, gasping for air. The eliminator raised the hermit over his head. Okay, I'll see what I can do, Mumbo said at last, walking over to the keyboard, his hands shaking as he looked up at the screen, seeing a new and different message on the screen as his blood ran cold. Mumbo, no! Green screamed from behind him as Hermit flinched, hearing his voice crack as he tried to take a slow, deep breath. But it came out shaking and quick. Duck. He looked down at his hands as he began typing. Are you sure you want to do this? Mumbo typed, sending the message as the former message disappeared. It must have been sent through silently, just as he'd arrived here. So neither Green nor Mr. A had seen it. If you want to stop him, yes. The message returned, followed by no beeping. It's almost as if Grumbot was whispering to him, and he could hear his friend whimpering behind him. Your friends are coming. I can help. I don't want to lose you again, Mumbo insisted through the text as he struggled to stay calm. I'll hurt more people, said that message sent back. I've already broken my promise, Dad. Tears sprung in the hermit's eyes as he said back. You didn't do that, Grumbot. It's not your fault. I want to help you. Help too, Grumbot said, back as Mumbo swallowed. How is it going there? Mr. A asked simply. He's still not sure, Mumbo replied, glancing over his shoulder to face the man. He doesn't want anyone to get hurt. Well, that's not his choice, now is it? Mr. A snapped, narrowing his eye. Now get it done and over with, and I'll let you both go free. You're lying, Green whispered hoarsely. Mumbo had barely heard him as Green hung limply on the machine, barely able to breathe, and he gasped quietly in pain. The man only shook his head as Mumbo looked back, seeing the new message on the screen. What do you want me to do, Dad? How much of the system can you access if I permit you? The hermit typed back. Everything. But Grumbot replied, the hermit bit back up his bottom lip. Hating is bad. I know. But it's true. I hate the fact that this has to be this way. I hate the fact that there is no other option to help you. How helpless I feel right now. There is There's no other way. Each minute that passes, the other code gets stronger. I can't stop it forever. I don't want to lose you. Me neither. But I can't see any other way. Mumbo took a deep breath, trying to recompose himself as he stared at the message on the screen. He knew Grumbo was right. It was part of the program, after all, to pick the best possible option of success from an infinite amount of possibilities. He blinked. The new message appeared on the screen. Will Green be okay? I won't let him hurt Green, I promise. I'm sorry, Dad. It's not your fault. Scar is okay. I hope he isn't mad. I'm sure you'll understand. I think it's ready to go. You want me to proceed? Mumbo paused for a moment, glancing over his shoulder, meeting eyes with his friend. Green's eyes were wide with fear, helpless to anything but watch. I give you full permission to delete everything you can. Make sure Mr. A can't do something like this again. I love you, Dad. I know you do. I love all the hermits, too. I wish we could be friends. We are friends. We love you, too. We won't forget you. Goodbye. Yes. Mumbo choked back a sob as the red Grumbot face flashed once, twice, 3 times before it was solid, with a solid blue color. The display screen also going blue as well, as a message displayed on the screen. Error, proceeding system deletion. What did you do? Mr. A yelled in anger as Mumbo was grabbed from behind, now face to face with the man. I couldn't stop him. He had a meltdown, Mumbo said quickly. He couldn't handle that much pressure. Lies, you did that on purpose. The man growled as he held up the button. Revert it now, you can watch as I slowly finish him. I can't, Mumbo insisted. As the man let go of him as Mr. A took a step back. I can't do anything at this point. Everything's gone. Liar, the man sneered. Mr. A sneered, holding up the button. You have 3 seconds to fix this mess, or else. I'm not lying, Mumbo said weakly, wondering if he should try to pry the gadget from the man's hand. So, you outsmarted me, the man said, calming down as he looked up at the screen. As it displayed the completion of the action, the screen went off. To what end? Mumbo, stop him! Green groaned as Mumbo instinctively lunged at the man as they both tumbled to the ground. The man only laughed as he tossed the hermit off him. Still holding the controller, the hermit tried to pry out of his hand. I think we're done here, Mumbo, Mr. A said coldly. I have other places to be. No! Mumbo screamed as the man pressed the button on the machine. As a secret compartment. Blech. The man walked to the far wall, secret compartment opening as he disappeared inside. Here the eliminator began to hum as he sat up. Looking up as he saw Green dangling limply in front of the machine, his friend's eyes wide, terror, as Mumbo scrambled to his feet, just as the machine fired its bright red death laser. The explosion that followed sent the hermit flying off his feet. He was momentarily blinded by the light. I told you there was a cliffhanger. I'm sorry, I'm leaving it here. I'm leaving it here. It's perfect. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, I'll see you guys soon with the next part. Whatever that might be. I am sorry, but that's just how it is. That's just how it be. Thank you guys so much for watching.